Sir, Russia launched 42 drones strikes across Ukraine today, hours after both nations agreed to resume peace talks in Istanbul. My question is, United States President Donald Trump is trying to go for a negotiation between Russia and the Ukraine war, and he has given a timeline of 50 days ultimatum to Vladimir Putin, and he says if you don't conclude or end the combat war with Ukraine, we are going to take tough measures including 100% tariffs. I don't want to ask you about tariffs, I just want to ask you what you see the prospect of this war negotiation with Russia.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ashakancha. It's Ukraine conflict or Ukraine-Russia war has taken a very peculiar turn, because at times I find it very difficult to understand why is Russia still pushing through. But at the same time, it is question of you can say ego of both sides, Russian ego as well as the Western ego. No one wants to surrender. They don't want to show that anyone is a loser. But in the process, the country Ukraine is being demolished day by day. Now, this is not new that what Putin has done. He had been from time to time he had been hitting the Ukrainian targets, and again he has agreed to sit in the peace talks in Istanbul. What I personally feel that probably there has been too much of pressure on Putin internally, that he should probably come to some terms so that the war can end. Probably both sides are looking for a win-win situation. If that happens, probably we might see an end to the conflict.
Sir, from history, if I say historian says, historian ask a question, who won the First World War? Answer is no one. But a lot of destroyed has gone through the world. Who owned the Second World War? Suddenly stopped. The Federal Reserve has gone zero. No one owned. Who owned the war in Iraq and Afghanistan? No one. But Afghanistan, Iraq, Syria destroyed. May I ask you a question? Who is going to win from this war or from this ego fight?
Same answer will be the same, because no one will win. It will be only losers, because the Ukrainian people are suffering. Now, in the process, the US defense industry is doing business, and Russians are losing, because Russian economy is suffering tremendously. This game will continue. I don't think this is going to end, even if the Ukraine war finishes. It is, say, assume that Ukraine and Russia decides to sit and go for a peace deal, but that is not going to solve the problem, because basic problem will remain. US interest that they want to control Russia, and Russian dream that they want to have a solid foothold in warm water.
They want to go back to Soviet era.
May not be exactly, but then something like that, so that they have an exit into the warm water of Mediterranean and onward.
Right. The FBI releases 200,000 pages of Martin Luther King's Jr. surveillance documents from Hoover era, and MLK's family urges contextual understanding. Here is new things that debate started between FBI, White House officials and Congress. That's very interesting subject is going on inside the United States. I will come back to you for that issues, but I want to draw the attention of General Shafaat Ahmed that 72 Palestinians killed in past 24 hours in Gaza amid intensifying strikes and humanitarian collapse. And United Nations organizations warns Gaza hell on earth. Repeat, sir, hell on earth. What United Nations is contributing to save this humanity and this innocent human in Palestine?
So, thank you. This is very pathetic. if you look at the situation in Gaza, probably we have gone back to the proverb that might is right. Israel, with the support of US strength, military strength and economic strength, they are trying to bulldoze their way. Now, what Israel is trying to do in Gaza is basically trying to wipe out the Palestinians completely.
Complete evacuation.
Complete. I'll not say it is evacuation; it is annihilation. They don't want to leave any sign that Palestinians ever lived here. One, but then to my horror is the inactivity of the Western world. If you look at the European Union, if you look at the European countries, if you look at the other Western countries, they are all silent on this issue. Although among the public there is a sentiment which has grown against Israel, but the government machineries are still supporting Israel. Although there is a move, I read somewhere that probably some of the Western countries are thinking of withdrawing their consulates and embassies from Israel, probably then. But that will not harm the Israelis, because there has to be some concrete action. And United Nations has become a sort of scapegoat of USA and Israel, because if the Israeli minister could tear apart the paper right in front of the entire world, that means they can do anything. That's what is the pitiable thing, because there is no one who is taking action against the Israelis.
Why don't you talk about the Arab leaders? Why they are not united?
Why they are not united? Now we are going back to history. If you look at the Arab states, first of all, these Arab countries are ruled by sheikhs.
They want to secure their
They
kingdom.
are worried that if they allow the people to rise, they might not be able to continue their rule. The life that they are leading, that is probably something which is beyond our imagination, you can say. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given them wealth, but the way they are wasting that wealth, we feel pity. Because I read somewhere some time back, the father of President Sheikh of UAE, he had commented that probably the future of UAE is back to desert.
Yeah, and they will ride the camel.
They will ride the camel. So probably we are heading towards that.